We got a great show for you this week.
We do. We have the director of Strange Harvest, Stuart Ortiz, on the show to have a bit of a chat.
We're doing the best of the year 2020.
Amazing movie battle, Ben. We've got Splinter versus The Ruins.
As always, the Boneheads join us.
And a bunch of other stuff, as per usual.
Welcome, friends. It's Good Movie Monday time. TikTok, it's Good Movie Monday o'clock. And I am your host, Benjamin Hellwig. And I am joined, as ever, by Mr. Glenn Cochran. How's it going, mate?
I am good. I got a full stomach and an empty head and I'm ready to go. How are you?
I am also empty-headed and full-stomached.
Excellent.
So this is going to be a cracker of a show. But before we start, why don't we take a little journey on the magic waves of the internet and go to goodmoviemonday.com, where you will find all of our social media links, all our past shows, merch, a little donate now button to help keep the show going.
That's right. Hit that support tab and chip in a few bucks.
Yeah.
Hey, I've got some. You said merch and all that. Like, you could be a little bit more enthusiastic about the whole thing.
I thought I was.
You've been
I was
sultry.
telling it. No, I was telling it like a. It was join us on a magic. It was like a story.
That's a pretty boring story.
I've never been so insulted in my life. That was my audible audiobook reading voice.
We'll have to have some.
You listen back to that later, and you tell me. It's all part of a. It's part of a shtick. I've never been heckled during my own show. Well, this has just started something. Wait till next week, my friend.
We'll have to have some metaphorical makeup sex later.
Yeah. Things just got real on the Good Movie Monday podcast.
If you do buy some merch from the website, put a photo on our socials. Show us what you bought. That'd be fantastic. We might even flash them on the show. That'd be good too. What else is there to be said? I just want to tell you, I learnt a bit of a lesson over the last week. I guess it's some handy social media / podcast advice.
Was it don't heckle your co-host when he's trying to lay down a vibe? Was that what you learned?
I'm a vibe killer.
Because let me tell you, the lesson did not stick.
What I learned, and it's a very important lesson, is that you got to be very careful and articulate on how you pronounce Schwarzenegger.
Oh, yeah.
Because TikTok doesn't like it when you mispronounce Schwarzenegger.
Schwarzenegger.
It's not the Schwartz. It's not the Schwartz.
It's not the Schwartz. That's the problem.
Or than that.
Surely that must. They must get.
We got a strike. We got a strike for saying it. So,
but can you appeal?
I did appeal. This is just instead of a bot listening to what I said, how about some actual ear holes go through it and
because I'm sure that must get appealed all the time. That guy's. It's not like he's a nobody.
Yeah, but even granted, when I was editing last week's show, I picked myself up. I'm like, really, I leaned in hard to the eye. Unintentional, and I think it's a throwback to childhood when you did mispronounce things. You didn't have the bad context in your head. You just mispronounced his name.
That's just how you said it.
Yeah, that's right. So anyway, I won't be doing that again. I might just leave him out of the show from now on. Yeah, because I can't guarantee I won't slip up.
It's good. It's an Arnie-free zone.
That's right. Maybe that's how we'll do it.
Call him Arnie.
Arnie.
Just imagine if TikTok was around when he was the governor. How many political commentators would have been...
the irony that California was the most racist place on earth.
Yeah.
Anyhow.
Look at their governor, for Christ's sake.
That was a public service announcement right there. You're welcome.
Yeah, it was a big week of films this week that I've seen one of them.
Okay.
I did not see the other two. How did you go? Did you see all three?
Okay, well, let's go back to what hit cinemas last week, and that was Wicked for Good. All right, and I just want to say it's possibly the worst film of the year. It fucking sucked. Hated it. Every second of it, which is strange because I loved the first one.
And it's also strange because usually if I miss a film, you come back going, oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah, I know. I don't do that intentionally. It's just the way the universe works.
It's just the way it happens.
Yeah, but I do have a story to tell from the Wicked screening, which I thought was great. I'm going to just throw myself in it here because I humiliated myself.
Did you do a shit in the aisle because you hated the movie so much?
It was an emerald shit.
The ultimate sign of disrespect to the filmmakers.
Drop trowel.
So disgusted by this film, I laid a loaf in the aisle.
No, but my wife was really in the mood for some choc top ice creams, and this was Is
that a metaphor?
This was a media screening, so there were no, popcorns or drinks or anything like that. So that's fine. She went off to the candy bar and got some, and came back, and it was such a glorious moment. She opens her choc top, and she takes that first lick, and the whole top just bounced off. Right? She caught it. She caught the choc top in her hand, and what do? I belly laugh. I point at her. I'm like, it amused me to no end. And then she brilliantly managed to, put it in the packet or in some napkins or something, and she ate the whole thing. Well done. We get out of the cinema. I'm covered in chocolate. I ate mine properly, and yet all the crumbled chocolate just melted into my top, and she came out with a white shirt completely scot-free. I had a black top covered in chocolate. It was grot. And, so just don't laugh at someone for their misfortunes.
I was going to say, now you know when she brings it up to her mouth.
I like it when it's normally a good thing.
But that is the very reason why I no longer eat choc tops at the cinema.
Yeah, it's that flaky chocolate. Just the second it hits the material,
But it's a round ball, like the size of the microphone, and you can't get your whole mouth over it. So when you're biting off a little bit, you are rubbing up against the chocolate.
And also, when it came off, you also realise just how little ice cream they actually put in a choc top. Like, it was not that big on the inside.
Because I guess the idea is it's supposed to melt into the cone.
Nah.
But
the cone's just a handle.
Yeah. But it's supposed, all of the ice cream, when you got ice creams as a kid, the scoop would go on top, and then as you ate it, it goes down in, so that by the time you get to the end.
Unless you've got a drumstick and the ice cream went all the way to the bottom.
The bottom, yeah, and they had the little chocolate, chocolate tip.
Wasn't that a treat?
Which I always thought was a nice little treat for you until I realised that, no, it's because there's a hole in the bottom, and otherwise the ice cream will run out.
You've got to plug it.
It's like it's a practical application.
So anyway, so Wicked, I really, really hated it. It's definitely making my list of the bottom 5 for sure. It's terrible.
Yeah, right.
And I'm looking at the general consensus across the internet, and it's pretty average.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Didn't like it.
So what else was there? So then we had...
Dead of Winter was Monday.
Yes, and we talked about Sisu last week, so we don't have to worry about that this week.
Yep.
Yes, Dead of Winter. Let's talk about that.
Did you get a chance to watch it?
I certainly did. Let me tell you another story about a cinema-going experience.
You've had a week.
I know. So this one was at the Como, right? And the Como, if you know, there's a lot of space between the seats, so you got lots of leg room, right? Heaps. Some motherfucker still managed to trip over me. I don't know how. House lights were up. This dude still managed it, and his hand went straight into my lap. I'm like, dude, what are you fucking doing?
You went faster, slower.
And then what I also learned, which is no surprise to us, but how something as little as a bit of a technical snafu can reduce grown adults into fucking children, right? Because we had some technical difficulties. This film started with only the visual and not the... had only the sound and not the visual. Right. And then when they figured that out, screen went black, and it took them 25 minutes to recalibrate, blah, blah, blah. But while the house lights are down and there's nothing on the screen, grown-ass adults, mostly men, yelling shit out like teenagers. Like, we're talking 50, 60-year-olds. I know who these people are. I should name and shame, but I won't.
Yeah, did any of them happen to be former heads of certain film critic associations?
No.
Okay.
No, but I'll tell you off the mic. But Jesus Christ, I'm sitting there going, are you fucking for real? How old are you? Yeah. You're supposed to be examples here. Anyway,
no, they had a train to catch.
I wish I'd recorded it.
Yeah,
I really did. And then I could have just not named, but just played.
Just played it.
Yeah,
this is what they were yelling out. Yeah. One of the greatest times I had in the cinema was at the Astor watching The Exorcist, and they had missed the reel change.
Yeah.
So it did that whole thing where it kind of goes to fire and it kind of burns out as it ends.
Yeah.
And there used to be this crazy homeless guy who was nicknamed the Professor because apparently he used to be a film professor, but he got into this car accident.
Could be the guy that was yelling out like a teenager.
Very possible. He got into a car accident and he kind of I don't know how to say it politically correct. He lost his marbles.
Okay.
And he basically couldn't work anymore, and he
Yep.
became kind of indigent. And
Okay.
but he used to leave bizarre conspiracy theory kind of almost zines under the door at Alternate Worlds when I worked there. And
Yeah.
he used to go to all the film events.
Yeah.
And he was a massive guy, bearded. I've turned into him. But when this thing happened at The Exorcist, he's like, oh, when your eyes turn green, you know you've been exorcised. And he was yelling out, but it was like the audience were loving it.
Well, that's different, isn't it? Because that's
Yeah.
amusing. But when you said homeless and like I'm thinking disheveled, you can get an idea of who I might be talking about. So anyhow, let's move on. So Dead of Winter, back to that. What a corker!
Yeah.
This movie's fantastic. I reckon it's going to make my top 10. I've been thinking about it since I watched it, and it's almost flawless. Like it's so damn
really
good.
And, big round of applause to Emma Thompson
Yes.
for a perfect accent.
Oh, absolutely.
Didn't drop it once. It was kind of a North Dakota
Yep.
kind of accent.
I've got a theory. I haven't looked into the film by any means, but I reckon it was hugely inspired by that one scene in Fargo where they walk in on the wood chipper. Because
Yeah.
that's the kind of setup. The premise is she walks in on sort of something nefarious happening in the middle of like a snowy tundra in Minnesota on a massive lake, and everything's white. And she then just gets sort of sucked into this trying to save a girl that's been kidnapped, and won't go into the details of it, but it is taut and tense. It gets straight into it, like 5 minutes in, and you're in the movie. They don't fuck around. Very little dialogue, only when necessary. It's almost like a survivalist film as well, and just shot immaculately.
Yeah, really good. And, I don't want to cast aspersions, but the Judy Greer character in the film, she's the kind of main villain, I guess you'd say.
Yep.
The idea that she has is flawless.
Yes.
Totally harsh.
Yeah, don't tell them what it is, but yes.
But-
yes.
You're genius. You're like, what a great way to commit a crime and cover it up.
Yeah.
Like, super smart.
Yes. And it's just that she's unhinged is her problem, right? And
she's gone to the point where there's no other
solution.
She's got
no alternative. Yeah. It's funny though, because last week on the show I was really talking up that movie 21 Bridges. Remember
Yes,
that?
yeah.
Same director.
Well, there you go.
He's a good director now. I've come to that conclusion. Like, that's two bangers in a row. They shot this one, I think, in Norway or somewhere in Europe. It wasn't shot in America, but you wouldn't know it.
No.
You wouldn't know it. Just, I don't know what I have to say about it. Just really, really flawless. It doesn't slow down. It's short, Yeah.
Yeah, punchy and doesn't let up. Doesn't fuck around. Emma Thompson is great. Judy Greer is great. The guy who plays the husband is great.
He's amazing.
Yeah, he's really good.
He's much younger than what he looks in the film. I looked him up.
right.
I'm like, yeah, dude, without your beard, you look a lot younger. But no, he could play Santa Claus, that's for sure. But he look, I'm not going to go to his story because it's juicy just to watch it all unfold on screen. But where his character goes, there's a turning point, and it's wonderful to watch.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, there we go.
That's great.
So what was the other one?
The other one was Now You See It, or
Oh no, that was a week ago, I think, or 2 weeks ago.
was it?
Now
Number
you see me again or whatever.
Yeah,
Now you see
was
me,
it?
now you don't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I didn't get to see that one.
No, it was Nuremberg. Nuremberg was the third one. Close. They're almost the same film.
Oh, look, I had too much going on at work with deadlines, and I couldn't get to that one.
Yeah, and I had no interest.
That's right.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I have a lot of interest in the history of the Nuremberg trials and all that sort of stuff. I do really enjoy the Alec Baldwin version.
Yeah.
I just have no interest in Russell Crowe in that movie.
Me too.
Sorry, Russell.
He's not been a good actor for a while. For quite a while.
And who did I confuse him with when you first sent me the image?
Oh, that's right. John Goodman.
Yes.
Yes.
And then you laughed at me and went, John Goodman is no longer fat.
That's right.
Hasn't been fat for years.
In fact, John Goodman could play Hando now.
Yeah, that's
Actually, didn't he play a skinhead in Dead Silence with Kevin Bacon, the James Wan movie?
Did he?
Yeah, which is the Death Wish sequel.
Oh no, yeah, I've never seen that.
Yeah, he plays like a neo-Nazi in that.
Yeah, right. Well, there you go.
Anyway, and then we saw one movie.
One of the three.
Well, I saw Wicked.
You saw a couple.
Moving on.
It's Terrific TV Tuesday, the only Tuesday TV segment that drops on a Monday.
And with that, it's Terrific TV Tuesday time.
Woo! What a journey.
Come with us on a magical television-themed journey where we discuss what we've been watching this week on Love Songs and Dedication.
See, television has a much slower pace, you see.
Yeah,
You've got more time to tell your story.
that's what television is known for. Slowness.
I mean, granted, we could slow this show down a bit, to be honest with you. We talk pretty fast.
We do. But, we like to pad it out with tangents. So why don't you kick things off, mate? What have you been watching
Two
this
things
week?
come to mind first. I do have a show to recommend. One of the best shows I've watched in a long time. But I do have to say Landman is back.
It is back.
So we've got season 2. Episode 1 has dropped. Maybe 2 by the time you're listening to this. Pretty good start. Sam Elliott's in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How skinny is that man's legs now? It made me feel bad for myself.
So that's, worth getting into. And if you haven't seen the first season, definitely jump on board. Also, there's a Golden Girls 40th anniversary special on Disney Plus that's well worth a look.
Ooh, I've got to check that
It
out.
goes for 45, 50 minutes. It's good, though. It's a little deep dive into the history of it. Heaps and heaps of behind-the-scenes footage and rehearsal and outtakes.
Do they talk about the horrendous fake news, Marjorie Trader Green level lies being spread that B. Arthur and Betty White did not get along?
That's the whole crux of the entire
Oh, wow.
thing. Yeah, that is what it's all about. And yeah, it's
Is it true they didn't like it? Or shit?
No, yes and no.
I thought it was B. Arthur didn't like Betty White.
they had different styles of approach, or different
Right.
approaches to acting. B. Arthur was much more the serious thespian. Betty White, they used to always say, is the smarter one of the two.
Yeah,
And
that would have upset B. Arthur.
Yeah, and she played into that just to rub her the wrong way. But they were friends. They were friends.
Okay, good.
Yeah, no, it's not as nefarious or anything like that. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's a fantastic. It's one of those ABC produced ones where it's a little bit kitschy and all that, but just
know what?
George Clooney and the like are in there because they did cameos.
They-
and,
yeah. Is Tarantino in there? Because he was.
I wish, because he was the Elvis impersonator in
Yeah,
one of those
famously.
episodes. Yeah.
But it is the kind of thing that I almost wish there was only 4 channels again, and then the best, and you will know this. Anyone our age will know this. The absolute best time to be watching TV is when it should be 3 hours of horrible cricket. And it gets rained out, so they put in something magical. You never know what it's going to be, and it's always great.
I know, it could be Family Ties.
And sometimes it's the making of Indiana Jones
That-
and
oh,
the
that's
Raiders
right,
of the Lost Ark,
yes.
and you're like, oh, this is great.
When I say Family Ties, I mean like the holiday special.
The holiday specials.
Yeah.
Because this is all before there were Blu-rays with special editions, and
Yeah.
every making of an EPK footage ever created was out and readily available, and there was no YouTube or anything.
That's right.
So you never got to see. Where would you ever get to see the behind the scenes of Indiana Jones? Only if sport was rained out.
Yeah, that's right. And the only other reason or purpose for their existence was to disappoint people that accidentally rented them from the video store thinking it was the movie.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah. Return of the Jedi, case in point.
Yeah,
I
that
thought
one.
that's what I was getting. I was only 6 or 7 years old. I was disappointed.
Yeah, disappointed with the making of.
And that was in the country, and the video store was about an hour's drive away. So
And admittedly, when the title on the spine reads, was it SPFX? Whatever it is.
I'm a kid.
You're like, oh, you're supposed to know that that's
Oh no!
Empire Strikes
I
Back.
vividly recall my stepmother saying to me, "It's not what you think it is." I'm like, "It is," because it's got Darth Vader on the fucking cover. No, it wasn't.
Is that under your breath? Did you go, you stupid cunt? It's not what you think it is. Yes, it is, you stupid cunt.
You silly
No.
sausage. So anyway, how
It
about
was only me who called his parents that under his breath every time they said something wrong.
on to my recommendation. How
Yeah.
about that? So there's a brand new show on Apple TV called The Last Frontier. And
Ooh.
wowee, what a wonderful show. This is it's got Jason Clarke, I should say, in the lead. The Aussie Jason Clarke.
Clarke.
It's got Haley
The latest John Connor.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, it's got, or maybe the second to last John Connor.
Yeah.
It's got Haley Bennick, Dominic Cooper's in it, Johnny Knoxville, Clifton Collins Jr., Alfie Woodard, Rusty Schwimmer. Like, it's a good cast.
Rusty Schwimmer.
And if this premise doesn't snag you, then don't bother. It is Con Air meets US Marshals. Opens up with a spectacular moment where this plane carrying a whole shit ton of dangerous convicts crashes in the Alaskan Arctic or tundra, whatever you want to call it, and they all escape. Like, they all miraculously survive. And then you got Jason Clarke is the US Marshal in an Alaskan town that's heading up the thing. He gets this mysterious woman arrives. That's Haley Bennett, who knows more than what she's letting on. And is she CIA? Is she not? Like,
or is she one of them?
Yeah, there's that too. And then, so it goes into this manhunt. It's a fantastically set up manhunt that follows each convict as they're going and how they sort of survive. The procedural stuff's fantastic, but then it brings in like some character dynamics for each of the police characters as well. I said to my wife...
Did you watch the whole season?
No, I've watched up to episode 8, and there's 2 more to go, but it's week by week now. So I caught it late, and I thought I was binging it, and it turns out it's a week-to-week drop. It's a week-to-week
show, but it's just... Well, I mean, look, I have to say, by today's standards, even 8 episodes is a long season.
I know. But I was saying to my wife as we watched it, we get to one point and I'm like, oh, this is where Ben turns off. And she's like, why? I said, the T word. There's a bit of trauma going on.
Ah, trauma.
However, I was thinking, is this necessary? Do we need this? But when they reveal the trauma, blows your fucking mind.
Okay.
And it's like, yes.
Then I will keep watching.
Yes, that's right. So
I'll just, but I can't guarantee that I won't be going, every time it comes up.
Well, you've made me start doing that. All I keep thinking though is like it's such a wonderful show, but The Last Frontier is it's kind of not an appropriate name for it. I wish they'd called it something else because I don't think it's a good selling point. But fucking great show. Get into it. It's fantastic. It's a good. Like, we've got lots of Aussies that are leading these type of shows because we had Eric Banner doing the Yellowstone one or whatever that was called, Yosemite.
Yosemite, yeah.
The one with Sam Neill. Remember that one?
Yeah.
It's good time.
That Sam Neill one was great.
I recommended it. I just can't remember the name of it. Yeah, but that was good too. But anyhow, Last Frontier. That's
Last Frontier.
Apple TV.
Well, no, not similarly at all. I stuck true to what I've been talking about almost non-stop for the last year. Another British murder mystery show. This time, the Marlowe Murder Club.
I saw that somewhere on the streaming.
I'm pretty sure it's on BritBox, but it may be on other things.
It might have been
think
just on a Facebook scroll or something.
Amazon Prime or something, yeah. But it stars Samantha Bond, who is the aunt in Downton Abbey.
Yep.
Joe Martin. So the premise is Marlowe is a regional centre in the UK somewhere. I'm not sure where. I'm sure people from the UK will know.
Not fictional?
I think it's real. I think it's a real place.
Okay, yeah.
Samantha Bond plays a retired archaeologist who kind of lives in a Edwardian mansion type house.
Yeah.
But she's alone and rambling around. And Joe Martin is a dog walker. And Cara Horton, the third member of the Marlowe Murder Club, is a vicar's wife.
Right.
And they team up to solve the murder that the police first don't believe has happened, and then don't believe that these women know anything about it. Of Samantha Bond's next door neighbor. It's the first season is only 2 episodes. I think they're both kind of an hour and a half.
Is that
episodes.
a season?
In the UK, apparently.
Yeah.
The second season, it feels like it's the British version of a mid-season replacement because it's only half. Usually, it's 4 episodes.
Or in the 80s, it was a telly movie.
A telly movie, yeah, a mini series.
Yeah.
But then there is a second series, and the second series has the traditional 6 episodes.
Yeah.
But if you like, what was that? The Richard Osman Thursday Murder Club.
Yeah.
If you like that kind of show, this is the kind of show for you. It's a little more simplistic than those.
Yep.
But
cool.
Fantastic.
I like simplistic.
If you look, It's what I'd like to call a Sunday afternoon watch.
Sounds great. Can I just quickly backtrack to my show, Last Frontier? What I forgot to add was the showrunner is the guy that created The Blacklist. So if you're a fan of The Blacklist, a bit of integrity. He also wrote Take In Lives and The Call, so he's got some good pedigree.
He's got some procedural chops.
Yes, and a bunch of the episodes were directed by John Curran, the Aussie or the American Aussie director that did that recent Mercy Road. He did Praise tracks. Like he's a good director too. So yeah, get behind and the soundtrack. Fucking every episode has 2 banger songs, and they play them nearly from start to finish on each episode.
Yeah, right.
Good
so
stuff.
you get the old Shazam out there to keep track of it.
Oh, no, just keeps things flowing, you know. That was all. All right, Ben, time for our interview of the week. Got a filmmaker called Stuart Ortiz to chat with. You did not sit in on this one, unfortunately. This one was never supposed to be for the show at first, and I managed to wrangle it for the show exclusively. So I'm excited about this one because, firstly, Stuart Ortiz, if you don't know him, there was a couple of filmmakers back in the mid-2000s called the Vicious Brothers, and they made Grave Encounters. Grave Encounters 2. Shook things up in the found footage world for a while. They've gone separate ways. One of them, which is Colin Minihan, went on and directed Coyotes, the recent horror film.
Played at Monsterfest.
That's right.
Monsterfest.
But Stuart Ortiz has gone off in his direction and done Strange Harvest. And this is one of the creepiest fucking movies you're going to see in a long time. It's a fake true crime documentary all about the hunt for a sadistic serial killer. Some of the creepiest and scary shit, I'm not joking or talking this up, that you will see in years. So imagine like a true crime documentary, but as he will say in this interview, he's gone beyond what television can show you.
Right.
So it's really graphic. It's really creepy. There's mind games involved. Absolutely fantastic film. It is, I think, right as we speak, it is available on physical media and digital. If not now, it might be next week. I can't remember the actual date, but going to throw to my chat now with Stuart. Enjoy and go check out this movie. It's fantastic.
Authorities continue to urge the public to keep a watchful lookout for a serial killer who remains at large and is extremely dangerous. You seen this?
Once again, I really appreciate you making time for me. I've been following your films for a long time, so it's a great pleasure to be chatting.
Cool, thanks, man.
I don't usually, to be honest with you, like when it comes to like I guess fake documentary and found footage stuff, I don't really take to it very often, but when I do, they're great, and you have 2 of them in my top 10, so that's a good start. And it's funny too, because like I find that when it comes to comedy mockumentaries, the audience is generally on board. It doesn't feel that way when it comes to fake documentaries with horror and drama. Has Strange Harvest fooled many people along the way that you know of?
It seems to have, it seems to fool some people. I mean, it's obviously it's a different world we live in '99 or whatever it was when Blair Witch Project came out. Unfortunately, I wish we could live in those early days of internet when you really could, pull the wool over people's eyes in an amazing way with something like that. So it's harder, if people are remotely skeptical, they go look it up. You know what I mean? But that said, I mean, there's definitely been some people who have been like confused and concerned. And there's actually at one of the cast and crew screenings that we did, there was an actress who has a little small role, but she came up to me and she's like, "Is this real or is this based on something real?" I was like, "You're in the movie, So I was like, I guess that's a good sign. I
guess too, you have this whole new world of true crime documentaries that you can really tap into, and you don't really give it away that it's fake until the end credits when you got actors that appear in the credit scroll. So I find it really, really fascinating. Visually, the movie's beyond terrifying. Like, it's nightmare inducing. I made the mistake of watching this very late at night, maybe 2 a.m, with
the The perfect time to watch it.
We had a storm outside, so the house was creaking, and it was, really unnerving. What comes first for you, the story or the visuals?
In this case, it was the visuals. In this case, it was the format and the idea of trying to do a documentary, a horror documentary. And that concept of sort of a mockumentary, we have elements, a little bit of that in Grave Encounters. We have like some interviews and stuff like that. And I always just thought it was the coolest thing when we were shooting that stuff. It was so much fun to shoot, and it was just such a cool way to examine a horror story because you're just kind of given all this information, and some of it's kind of dry, and some of it sort of sounds mundane, but it could really paint this overall picture of this very credible, creepy kind of scenario. So I always wanted to play with it, but I just didn't know exactly what to do it on. And then it was actually seeing Tiger King during COVID in 2020 that kind of crystallized the idea of trying to do something true crime because that documentary was huge in the States. I think from people I've talked to, it was big over there as well. Seems like it was just a global phenomena. And it's ridiculous and very entertaining, but it is also a true crime documentary. And it sort of showed me that the time had arrived when like the audience understood the format and that like not that I thought people would be confused, but what I wanted to do was to play it completely straight. I didn't want to do something that was like a wink and a nod in any kind of way at any point. I didn't want to ever break the reality of it. And I just didn't know if people would get that or be on board with it. But after I saw Tiger King, it was like true crime is huge. It's everywhere. Like it's not just I always thought it was just like I was the only weirdo that like, listened to stories of murder and mayhem and whatnot. But then it's like, no, it's everyone. It's mom, like it's grandma, it's like the people that you'd never suspect. So once I kind of put that all together in my head, it was very quick. The story then was like, well, if it's going to be true crime, the most iconic and coolest thing to do would be a serial killer. And then it was just like, after that, it came together very quickly.
Yeah, right. I feel like there's a lot of suppressed childhood nightmare sort of memory stuff manifesting itself in here as well, because it's the kind of shit I dreamed of when I was a kid that used to give me night terrors.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's true.
So obviously, you've tapped into sort of the trend of true crime. I find it fascinating too that true crime has become entertainment. Like that in and itself is weird to me. It's great because I love them too, and we are entertained by them. So the creepier and the darker they get, the more entertaining they become for us. So you've sort of definitely pushed that envelope. I just want to touch again, like where the story came from, in terms of like more so fleshing out the story. So for getting from A all the way to Z. Um, did you have a form, a structure in mind right from the beginning, or did you sort of just make it up as you go per scene? Because it's a very intricate kind of thing.
Well, the way I wrote the movie was actually like the actual script that I wrote, and it was a fully written script. There was not actually that much improv in the movie. Mostly it's what you got in the script. But the actual writing of the script only took a couple of weeks. What took the length of the time, which was about a year to write it, was like a Bible that I made
Yeah.
that had like basically the entire mythology of kind of this occult sort of religion that this character believes in, and it kind of had all the rules and kind of traced this thing back in time to the very beginning of like at least human existence. And like, just it kind of had this whole rule structure baked into it. And then also in that Bible, I just wrote out in excruciating detail a chronological list of all the murders and events as they happened. And having both those things, then when I went to actually write the script, which is kind of just storytellers telling the story. So once I knew who my characters were, it was just a matter of them telling that story through their own words. And so it'd be like, if I'd go, oh, when did that happen? Shh. You could just look it up in the Bible and go, oh, it happened at, this date or this time, or this is what happened or whatever. So that's how I never got lost. And to me, it was important that the mythology actually have some logic to it, that there's like an internal logic to it, that there's sort of like rules and that it like makes sense on some level because it's my belief that sure you can sort of make stuff up and just go, creepy stuff happens and we don't know, but I think that if there's actually a little bit more to it, even in the film, all these little things are I only just barely mention them. They're just addressed in the periphery. You never really examine all this information that closely. You can still get a sense of it. And I think audiences are savvy enough that they can tell if it's just kind of nonsense or if there's actually like something there. And if, I think that just strengthens the immersion and makes it scarier.
It definitely does. The more grounded it is, the more realistic, the more chilling it becomes. Do you shoot the talking heads first or the rest of the footage? Because I imagine one way or the other makes it easier in the edit just to structure the whole thing.
It wasn't I guess it wasn't the biggest concern actually in terms of it, because I knew that I was gonna stay on script for the most part. I think it was within the first couple of days of the shoot, but I do think we shot something else before it. Um, that was more just like, the challenge of having an actor sit there and do like 30 pages of monologue, because that's really what it is monologue. That was like that was like the challenge, and I just got really lucky with my two lead actors that I was able to find people that could handle that. But yeah, that was a challenge. The thing about the planning of the movie and the part of the idea and the reason I thought that it could be done for a small budget is just that the film is kind of modular in a way. Like I knew that if we shot these interviews and well, this didn't happen, but if we had had a bad performance where someone we thought was going to be good ended up not being that great, you could literally just replace them like with someone else and there'd be no ripple effect to the rest of the movie.
Yes.
So luckily that didn't happen. Everyone we got was cool, but you know, it all just worked out. The format was just it all informed the whole thing, I guess.
Yeah, because I was just thinking about like the things they're talking about, even though it's scripted. I'm thinking maybe you go and shoot what they're talking about, and it doesn't, and it turns out differently. So then do you have to go back and change what they say and that kind of thing, or But I guess you answered the question. Where these films can fall apart is the talking heads quite often because you can see the acting come through. It doesn't happen in this one. Like it is very realistic. How do you direct a realistic performance from people like that have to portray, just being in the moment?
I wish I could take credit for it and say like I am like the greatest director of actors or something, but honestly, like so much of that comes down to casting, and so much of it came down to finding the right people for it and getting really lucky because this film was made non-union. It wasn't made with the union, which was just a budgetary thing. It's more expensive if you do a union film, obviously, and there. So we which is, I have no problem with the union. It's great. You get an amazing talent pool of people. And when you do non-union, you can find amazing people, but it's harder because it's kind of like anyone can just submit basically. And especially in that age range, a little bit older, like adult actor, it's unfortunately, if they're still trying to do it and they haven't like made it to become a union rep actor by the time they're that age, it's usually because they're not very good. That's what we found anyway. But we got really lucky with Peter Zizzo and Terry Apple, who played the two lead detectives. They were both in a transitional kind of place in their career. Peter is a music guy. He's written songs for like Celine Dion and Avril Lavigne, and then he just decided he wanted to switch to acting. So he had only been doing it for like 6 months when we cast him. He was just like diamond in the rough. And then Terry made her career as like a voiceover actress, and then she decided she wanted to do more on camera stuff and hadn't been doing that long either. So it was just like got lucky and found two people who were just like, also like excited and primed to do it, in their career. So
Yeah, no, casting's fantastic. Um, with the crime scene stuff, you push it to some real extreme limits, which I loved. But was there ever a discussion on how far to push it? Because in terms of what crime docos usually show, they don't show much, but you go above and beyond. Was there ever a discussion on do we go that far or just fuck it, let's just throw it all?
nah, you're just like, fuck it. Let's just go for it because I mean, Grave Encounters is very much the same philosophy, which was like a lot of people at that time were doing more of the paranormal activity, very subtle approach. And we were kind of like, yeah, but it's kind of cool if it just gets really crazy and gnarly and we just go for it. So I was always aware of like that, a real documentary would not show these images or blur them or something like that. And that's just a personal preference thing, man. I like to show the carnage candy, and So, we went for it. I wanted to come up with the most hideous things that I could,
Yeah, you can have your cake and eat it too. You can be creepy on one hand and throw it all out there. And I think when people will see it for the first time, particularly, I think it's clever that you've probably the most graphic crime scene's the first one, like the family. And I think that catches people off guard. It caught me off guard. I thought, fuck, I'm in the hands of a madman here. I don't know where it's going. And that sets a really good tone. So you must have been like a kid in a candy shop doing all that.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I mean, that's just like, you're shooting in some real family's house who's allowed you to go in there for some reason to shoot this thing, and you start bringing in, these amazing dummies that are basically they were dummies that our makeup effects artist Josh Russell made for us. He brought them in, and we just started seeing them in, and yeah, you are just like gleeful because you know how good it looks, and part of the way we kind of allocated the money and the resources in the budget was not like you would normally do with a movie. We allocated a lot more money towards the makeup effects than you normally would, just because I wanted them to be like A level, like as high caliber as we could. So like Josh has done like, you know, he did one of the most recent Hellraiser movies. He did all the Cenobites. He did like stuff for like The Ritual. Like he's like, I don't know why he did our movie. No, really, we didn't deserve him, but you start bringing that stuff in, and it's just like you're like, oh, this is so demented, this is so off-putting, this is so great, and then yeah, that was really fun to shoot that stuff.
Yeah, and really gross. Um, is there other than Tiger King, is there any particular true crime docos that you leaned into for a little bit of influence?
Honestly, not really, and I don't say that in a way like, oh, I'm so smart. It was more just like, I feel like it's more just like the language of these kind of documentaries has like seeped into like everyone's kind of like their language of cinema or something. I mean, there's been some great ones like that Night Stalker one on Richard Ramirez.
Yep.
There's a great Amazon one that they did on Ted Bundy, talking with the woman that he was his girlfriend or whatever. That was quite powerful. So there have been some good ones, but honestly, I can't say that one documentary necessarily was like the influence.
Yeah, yeah.
It was more just like the overall like language of those kind of documentaries.
Yep. No, that makes perfect sense. I talk to all kinds of horror directors on a weekly basis, and 8 out of 10 of them always express some kind of desire to branch out into other genres. Is that something you'd like to do, or are you very happy being the horror guy?
I mean, if I'd say if it's in the realm of being dark, let's go there. We could do a dark drama, we could do a, thriller. This is kind of a thriller anyway.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not opposed to any of that, but I'm very comfortable in horror and would have no problem making horror movies for the rest of my life if that's what I was stuck doing, if I was stuck doing that, you know.
I think
But I love,
that's what
some of my favorite directors. Yeah, yeah. Some of my favorite directors are like Paul Thomas Anderson, guys like that, like, so obviously I would love to work on like some kind of a drama would be great, but for now I'm more than happy with where I'm at.
And how good would it be for him, someone like him, to step into horror? That'd be fun. See what he.
Well, some of the greatest horror movies we have were often directed by non-horror directors. You look at like The Exorcist or The Shining. These are movies made by not necessarily horror directors, so they can bring an interesting POV for sure.
Yeah, totally. Where did your love for the genre start? Can you pinpoint a moment, like in childhood?
I don't think I can pinpoint a moment in my early childhood. I was always just into spooky things, creepy things, and my father, I think probably just because he didn't want to have to deal with having to like kick me out of the room or not be able to watch something on TV. He just showed me like every, scary movie, whatever. I watched Alien, the first one, when I was like 7 or something. And the way he would do it is just kind of go like, no, it's fake though. It's not real. This is makeup, I think that got me interested in filmmaking. When I saw Dawn of the Dead, the original, the Romero one, I saw that in high school, and that was a big influence on me. I had never seen a film like that before, and that really, got me thinking of that horror you could kind of operate on like this other level, because Romero, he's an amazing horror filmmaker, but then he also injected like this social commentary into all of his films. And that was the first time I was kind of went like, oh, like horror can actually have this, like, there can be something else going on, and that was very exciting to me. So
Yeah, absolutely. I was about 6 or 7 when I had my first horror memory, and ever since I've been chasing that adrenaline.
What was it?
Oh, it was
What was the first one?
it was a double feature, and it was Nightmare on Elm Street 2 when I was about 6 or 7. And that was fine. I handled that, and then it was Ghoulies, which followed. And it was not the movie itself. The tagline said they'll get you in the end. So in my head, they were going to get me in the end. So I had to finish the movie 10 minutes ahead, just fuck off so that I didn't get caught, like it's this weird childhood thing. But ever since, I remember how terrified but excited I was about that. And so ever since, I just think about that memory and I chase it, it's a wonderful thing.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, Nightmare 2's got some pretty disturbing imagery in it. There's that whole scene where the Freddy comes out of that guy's body and stuff, and it's like he rips, like pulls, and it's like awesome. But that's like a
Yeah, for Nightmare 2, it was the swimming pool scene with the fire. Like, that was the nightmare stuff for me when I was a kid. But even like movies like, do you remember in Lethal Weapon, the person or the woman gets trapped in the plastic in the pool and
Yeah.
tangles with it, and Poltergeist tangles with Poltergeist 3, I think, tangles with the barbed wire. Like that kind of shit is what, manifested in my dreams for years.
That's kind of like we have the thing in Strange Harvest in the pool, and that was based off of a real life thing. I had a pool when I was growing up in my parents' house, and we had to like drain the water to change the lining of the pool or something.
Yeah.
Anyways, me and my friends, when it was drained, we went down there and we would fuck with each other by like, I realized if you poured a bunch of like cooking oil to make it slippery, you could legitimately trap someone. Like they could get no traction to get out. And that definitely stayed in my mind for 25 years of like, this would be a brutal way to dispatch someone in a pool in this kind of way.
100%. I can't believe I mentioned the pool and barbed wire, because you got both in that scene, and it was such a gnarly scene, and the leeches and shit. Oh my God. And yeah, see, going into you talking about building a mythology, and you had the leeches with the bite marks and in the shape, like it's just really, really well put together. I'm not going to keep you for much longer, but yeah, I just find all of that so fascinating, man, and then could talk to you for ages, but I'll let you go. Thank you so much. Have you got something in the pipeline next?
Yeah. I'm working on a sci-fi horror script right now that I'm really excited about. And then me and Colin Minahan, who I did Grave Encounters with, we're developing a reboot right now with Justin Long. So
Amazing.
really excited about that.
Justin Long, can't go wrong. I tell you what, I love watching him.
Yeah, him is the host character. I think he's gonna be like amazing at it. He's perfect.
Yeah, and in Coyote, he was in that, just fantastic. Yeah, so good. All right, man, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna get on with my work. Have yourself a good time, a great day. I really love this film, and I can't wait for people in Australia to catch it, because it's unique.
Cool, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
2020. COVID-19, also known as the China virus, grips the world, leading to a global toilet paper shortage. Shit everywhere.
The year is 2020, and these were the top 10 films of that year. Just jumping right into them.
Yeah, sure, go.
Starting at number 10, Wonder Woman, 1984. Really? Mm-hmm. This actually, I have to say, this list is the US box office top 10 list.
Okay.
Usually we do the world.
Yeah.
But
global.
But for the first time ever, the Wikipedia page where we get this information has decided to include the Chinese box office, which I don't know why it didn't previously.
Well, it crept in last week, I think.
Yeah. But like literally 6 of the films in the top 10 are Chinese films that have yet to or never been released in the Western world.
That is simply because they have made more money in China than they have anywhere else. So it's a big booming industry over there. But so I appreciate you doing the American one.
So this is the American one.
We haven't seen any of those.
No, I'd just be reading out words strung together that you'd be like, what's that?
Yep.
So Wonder Woman 1984, Tenet, The Croods, A New Age, Onward, The Call of the Wild, The Invisible Man at number 5, Doolittle, Birds of Prey, Sonic the Hedgehog at number 2, and number 1, Bad Boys for Life.
There's a whole lot of family flicks in there.
Yeah, because I reckon around 2020, which would have been the kind of onset of COVID, is it?
Maybe that's a good point.
Who was going to the cinema? Families.
Yeah.
Definitely the domination of streaming.
Yep. Okay. Cool.
So
I mean, this is a very underwhelming year all around for me. I'll be fucked trying to guess your favourites, but I've only listed a handful here. I've not gone on my usual spree of fucking marking down 100 movies, but Underwater came out that year.
I didn't miss that
Fantasy
one.
Island, Brahms, The Boy 2, Guns Akimbo. We had The Way Back. We had Bloodshot, The Hunt, Extraction, Becky, Artemis Fowl.
Bill and Ted Face the Music, Borat subsequent movie film, Emma, Greenland, Greyhound, Hillbilly Elegy, Hubie Halloween came out this year, so it was actually a pretty good year.
The best year ever.
For nothing but that. The Gentleman, Military Wives, Let Him Go,
Yep.
Palm Springs dropped on Netflix. The
Yep.
Valley Girl remake.
That's
which
true.
I still haven't seen. But
You forgot to mention American Pie Girls Rule.
yeah.
You also forgot.
Did I forget it, Glenn?
You also forgot to mention Tremors, Shrieker Island.
Once again, did I forget it?
War with Grandpa, Books of Blood, Mank, Jingle Jangle.
Jiu-Jitsu, Possessor, Promising Young Woman, The Reckoning,
Yep.
Shadow in the Clouds, The Stylist.
Yep.
We Summon the Darkness, The New Mutants, after about sitting on the shelf for about 5 years. Freaky. Blood Vessel came out that year. Bloody hell, a couple of Australian ones. The Babysitter sequel. So there's some stuff.
Yeah. And you mentioned a couple of Aussie ones. Go also came out that year. I like that one.
Relic, True History of the Kelly Gang, Miss Fisher got a movie. Who would have thought?
I know. You know what?
The Furnace.
She has been sitting on my back burner of if I've got nothing to talk about on Terrific TV Tuesday, I'm going to talk about Miss Fisher. But we just haven't got to that point yet. Maybe.
Oh, Eurovision Song Contest, the story of...
Oh, yeah.
That came out that was out this year.
That was surprisingly good.
An American Pickle. Yeah, there's some, but yeah. Look, it was a tough... I've got 4 films on my list.
Oh, for you?
For me.
Yep. Okay, well, I've got 4 on there for you.
Okay, let's see.
Let's see
if you got them all.
I doubt it. I'm getting worse at this game. All right, so I'm going to guess Hubie Halloween for you.
Yep.
Enola Holmes?
No.
Buddy Games?
No. I had that last year because it's just one of those idiosyncrasies.
And The Way Back?
No.
Okay, well, I won. I knew that one was going to be there.
Now, I had The Gentleman.
Okay.
Zola.
I should have known that was your favourite of the year. I didn't see that on my list.
And The Hunt.
Yep, okay. Yep.
Were my 4.
All right, give it a crack. What have I got as mine? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Jeez. Bill and Ted Face the Music?
No, I didn't hear say that.
Call of the Wild?
Nope.
I
don't do no CGI dogs.
Fat Man?
Yes.
Yeah, wow.
Love Fat Man.
Greenland?
No, but when you said it before, it should have gone in there. I love it. And Greenland 2 is coming out shortly. Yep.
I had Hubie Halloween.
Yeah, of course.
Possessor?
No.
And I also had Hillbilly Elegy.
No.
Just as a joke.
So my list from top to bottom would be Hubie Halloween, Love and Monsters. I really like that one. Fat Man, Sound of Metal. Amazing film.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yep. Promising Young Woman.
I knew when I had Possessor, it was like... I knew it was one of these.
Yeah.
And I know one of them was Jarrett's.
Yeah.
And I thought Promising Young Woman is Jarrett's.
No,
but maybe it's Possessor is Jarrett's and Promising Young Woman
because I didn't like
yours.
Possessor, but Promising Young Woman just blew my mind. And Go, which was also called Go-Karts elsewhere in the world. The Richard Roxburgh kids movie about the go-karts.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there you go. It's a pretty underwhelming year, though.
I think, look...
Hubie Halloween makes up a lot of ground.
Yeah. Yeah, it covers a lot of sins.
It's covered a lot of time for us on the show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Were you going to say something else?
No.
Let's cut you off.
Just like let's just end that year. So that was silly. I should have gone. Let's just you can edit this into the thing. Why don't we see what the Boneheads thought?
I'm not editing any of that.
Are we ready?
Yeah, I think we're ready.
Well,
hey, Chad, you ready?
meh.
Yeah, well, okay.
Welcome.
Chad's not ready.
Oh, well, then I can't say welcome to Bonehead Weekly Fun Size this week, 2020. The show, not the year.
And by the way, it was yeah. I forget who hosted that, but anyway, 2020 was hard because I don't know if you all know this, but there was a plague upon the land. Beaver fever.
A pox upon your house or whatnot. A pox on your house.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Everybody had that beaver fever.
I have beaver fever. I think you said Bieber, but
I did, but
Beaver.
yours is probably going to end you up in prison. So go ahead.
Oh, no. I took something for that and the rockin' pneumonia and the boogie woogie flu.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got vaccinated for all those things. Timely. My pick for 2020 is I still scream that it's underrated, and it's one of the best Lovecraft movies I think ever made was Underwater. I don't know why no one talks about Underwater. It's not brilliant, but it's a solid B Lovecraft movie that doesn't tell you it's going to be a Lovecraft, and they never say Lovecraft. It stars Kristen Stewart, and Vincent Cassell. A guy named William Eubank directed it, and he actually directed one of those Paranormal Activity movies that I really liked. And if you ever get a chance to watch it, it's called Next of Kin. And it does not take place with Patrick Swayze, but actually I recommend that one too. But I loved Underwater. It was one of those nice little, I had no expectations, and it turned out to be really good.
Sure. I'm going to go with one that messed with me and it stuck in my head. And when we got to 2020 at first, because of COVID and everything, I was like, oh man, I don't know. 2020 is rough. I'm going to go with His House. His House messed me over in the best of ways. It
Not
stuck
Ron's
with me.
House?
No, that was a wonderful song. But no, His House, if you've never seen His House, it's a horror movie that's not a horror movie, but it is. It has commentary on what people will do to get out of bad situations, on immigration, it is a thinking horror film, but also a creepy horror film that really doesn't have a lot of special effects, really doesn't have the real horror of that movie is in what people will do and what people have to do. Because they're still kind of justified in what they did. It's terrible, but they're justified. If you've never seen His House, it's 2020. It's the one that stuck with me the most.
And the real horror of this podcast is Chad Jennings. Go, Chad.
My favorite movie of 2020, hands down, is Riders of Justice. I don't know if either one of you guys saw this. It's a really great film.
Is it the sequel to Riders of the Storm?
No. Riders of Justice stars Mads Mikkelsen. Oh my God. He plays this soldier who's returning home to his wife and daughter, and the wife dies in a tragic train accident. But what happens is they think it's just an accident. They're mourning, or he's mourning. He doesn't really show emotion. So he's just dealing with the grief and dealing with the fact that now he has to raise a daughter who he barely knows because he's been off fighting a war for so long, until this man shows up who is also on the train, who's a mathematics genius, who basically lays out saying there's no way this was an accident. And he has these two oddball people come along, his colleagues come along with him to help Mads figure out what happened to his wife. Just real quick, it's directed by Anders Thompson Jensen. I don't know if either one of you know who he is. He is an amazing director. He all of his films are really, really amazing. Men and Chicken and Adam's Apple and The Green Butchers are all phenomenal. I'm looking forward to seeing his new movie, The Last Viking, that comes out this year. So yeah, I had to bring up Riders of Justice. It really is an amazing film.
This has been Bonehead Weekly Fun Size.
That was actually due to the soy products I consumed before the show.
And fizzy drink.
But it is that time for a movie battle. A phenomenal movie battle.
This is a banger. I had no idea this was a banger until I watched these, because I got to be honest with you, I hadn't seen either of them.
And the funny thing is that I got the idea from the shelves behind us.
Because I've owned Splinter for years. Never got around to watching it.
And Feast. You may have seen Feast.
Yeah.
But Feast was there as well.
But we haven't.
It was originally supposed to be Feast and The Ruins. Splinter, sorry.
Yeah.
And after we watched Splinter, we're like, oh, this is nothing like Feast.
Yeah.
Let's find another one that's similar.
Because they've got to be comparable in some way.
And The
or
Ruins.
another.
So did I actually say it? Splinter and The Ruins.
Mate,
both from 2008.
You're getting good at this.
Yeah. I'm remembering. I don't remember.
You're doing the hands.
Sometimes I don't remember my own name, Glenn. And sometimes I remember weird things.
So let's straight away just put it out there. Both of these were great for me. I love them both. One does trump the other, but nevertheless, I had so much fun with both.
I think I texted you after I'd watched Splinter, and I said, during watching Splinter, saying, Splinter does not fuck around.
Yes.
And then the next day you texted me going, The Ruins also does not fuck around.
That's right. They both have that moment where they really ramp it up.
Yeah.
You know?
But they do not fuck around in terms of getting into it. Like there's no tedious, at no point in either of these two films did I look at my watch going, when is this going to be over?
Yeah.
Like they got to it. And even during the little bit of setup that The Ruins has, they put tits in there just to keep me pacified. Which I appreciate.
Yeah, for sure.
Well done, Carter Smith, the director of The Ruins.
That's right.
You knew your audience. It's
shot,
like a tourist.
Shot in Queensland.
No shit.
The entire thing, yeah.
I always get it mixed up. The reason I hadn't seen it was because, and Jesus, I'm such a piece of shit. There is another movie that was shot here, horror film, and Natalie Bathingthwaite was in it.
Yep, it's got Primal, I think it's
Primal
called.
or Prey? Yeah, something
maybe
like that.
Maybe Prey.
And there were rumors that she had done a nude scene in it, but it had been cut. Ooh. And I remember being outraged. Like, what kind of war criminal would capture something that glorious? And then it's like Mike Nichols cutting out all of the Natalie Portman nudity in Closer. I mean, like if this was 1945, some people would be put up against the wall and shot.
The only man that is envious of Dr. Carl, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. The only one. All right, back to the movies.
But back to the movies. So, sorry, let's just do
this.
Let's get out of the biographical stuff out of the way. So, Splinter, 2008, directed by Toby Wilkins, stars Jill Wagner, Paul Costanzo, of all people, Shea Wigham, who we've talked about on the show before because he is the guy that's in everything.
Mission Impossible, Lawman, the Bass Reeves, Lawman. F1, he was in Waco, he's
Boardwalk Empire, he's
that guy, you know his face, but you don't know his name.
And the reason, I think the last time we talked about him is because he's in the first 5 minutes of F1, the movie.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
He's just like, you're like, why is he not in the rest of the movie?
He had a major role in the movie and they cut it.
Yeah.
They cut it. He's on the cutting room floor with Nat Bass tits. That's right. But yeah, like he's a Walter Goggins. Like we used to not know who the fuck he was until suddenly everyone knew who he was.
And then you're like, oh my God, he was in everything. Yeah. And Rachel Curbs brings home that cast. So The Ruins, also 2008, directed by Carter Smith, starring Jenna Malone, Jonathan Tucker, who likewise is the bad guy in just about every TV show.
Yep.
Laura Ramsey, Sean Ashmore.
Yep.
Which Ashmore is Sean?
You never
I couldn't tell you.
You never know.
And Joe Anderson from Horns.
It's
clearly
a more stacked cast, or a more recognizable cast.
It is a bigger film. So basically, the plot of Splinter is 4 people get trapped in a convenience store in the middle of nowhere by a organism that, like a similar, funnily enough, to the fungus in that, I can't remember
in
the
name.
Raft? No, what's the name of the TV show that's based on the computer game about the little girl?
Oh, Last of Us.
Last of Us.
Yep.
It's basically a Last of Us type situation, but just done on a really in a contained
or even,
scale.
And just like thematically a bit like the Mist.
The Mist, yeah. Very similar. And so The Ruins is a bunch of backpackers in Mexico on their last day. One of them is sick of just hanging around the pool and wants to go do something cultural before they leave and actually see a bit of Mexico. Shock horror. And so he hears of some of the other people there going to see some ancient, maybe it's not Mexico, it's somewhere in South of Mexico.
I think it's Mexico.
Yeah, they go to some Aztec ruins or I know I'm being culturally insensitive by not knowing what the ancient people of that area were called, but it's
just call them Mayans.
Mayans, yeah. They go to some ancient ruins where they are confronted by
Queensland. It's Queensland.
Yeah, that's right. I know impressive job building that set.
They just head north of the Gold Coast.
Yeah, they just find these things. That's why we know there are aliens. and then they are likewise beset by an organism.
Yeah, so
and
they find a pyramid and it's covered in vines.
In vines and then these locals turn up and refuse to let them leave, and they don't speak Latin, I guess, or whatever language, Mexican, whatever language they're speaking, Spanish. But I don't think they're speaking Spanish because none of them, none of them even say no habla. And surely, if you're Californians, you speak a bit of anyway. Won't let them leave because, as you find out, they could already be infected. So that's what kind of keeps them in the area. So they're both contained bio horror.
Yeah, parasitical
horror movies.
Yep.
Both phenomenal.
They are fantastic. The one thing that Splinter reinforced was my very, very strong disliking of Paulo Costanzo. I can't stand the guy. He's completely unlikable in this movie.
I thought he was actually... This is the most contained performance I've ever seen. Like, he's the only... What I really know him from is as the brother in Royal Pains.
Yeah.
Evan R. Lawson, CPA. Mm-hmm. And as Josh Hartnett's best friend / housemate in 40 Days and 40 Nights, who is responsible for the greatest line, one of the greatest lines in cinema history, which is that, dude, where's my Indiana Jones Temple of Poon tape? I was searching for this for 40 minutes last night. That's a long time to search for porn.
Well, that's the greatest line in cinema history because you relate.
Yeah. But it is.
Whereas I know him, though, from Road Trip.
Oh, he's in Road Trip,
and Designated Survivor. He's like the assistant that's going around with the clipboard the whole time.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
In not the TV series.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I didn't even know you'd watch that TV series.
That's a great show.
Yeah,
Loved
right.
It.
Yeah.
Loved it. Yeah.
I have to say, tangent time. I really wanted to like it. I didn't get far enough in it because every time Kiefer Sutherland in the first couple of episodes has a chance to stand up and be a man, he failed.
Well, because he was trying to do the counteract of Jack Bauer.
Jack Bauer,
right?
yeah.
But what the one thing I found fascinating was because halfway through it went from whatever network it was to Netflix, and then suddenly they're dropping F-bombs every second word.
Excellent.
It's like, wow, this show just dialed itself up. Like,
I'll have to give it another shot because I like and when
you'll know that point when it's what.
And when I say be a man, what I mean is like grow a pair of balls and actually, like when somebody gives you shit, you're the fucking president now. Tell him to fuck off. Like he's meek to the point of you're just asking for it.
The premise is he's the furthest from the presidency of everyone in Washington, and so he's not really fit to be the president.
It's the American version of King Ralph.
Yeah, it is. I know. That's the first thing I thought of when I saw it in the first episode. Don't all line up for a photo together.
Yeah. on a rainy day. But anyway, back to Splinter and the Ruins.
Again.
For you...
What's the winner?
Which one topped?
Splinter.
Yeah.
Splinter blew me away a lot more. Like, I knew what I was getting with the Ruins, and it upped the ante more than I anticipated it would. But Splinter, I was not expecting anything that was in it. And just the gore was great. The premise was great. The acting was great. Kept it self-contained without getting boring. Yep, that's for sure.
And for me too... Splinter basically turns into the Thing.
Yeah.
About halfway through. Mm-hmm. Whereas the Ruins, it's still just the vines.
Yeah.
As fucked up as they are, and as fucked up as they go, it's still great. But the Splinter is like 7 heads are walking around here,
That's
and
right.
the Evil Dead hand is running
true.
around. It's pretty fucking
Mind
awesome.
you, when the Ruins gets gory, it's gory.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, we've got a winner. We've got a consensus. That's great. Hasn't happened for a while.
No. But there you go. Go check out both of them, though. Mm-hmm. Splinter and the Ruins. I can't do the gun noise, Glenn. I'm sorry. It's rapid fire recommendations. There you go. Thank you. If I tried, it was going to be like the vibrating only goes for a couple, and then it just flattens out. I sound like what's his name in Bad Lieutenant? With his
I know exactly what you're saying.
Harvey Keitel. That's what I was thinking of.
Okay, so it's the tail end of the show, essentially. We're going to recommend some movies here.
Yeah, that's right. Rapid or not?
I'll go first.
Yeah,
I'll keep this nice and brief. I mentioned this in the 2020 segment. Sound of Metal, which is a movie that was nominated for all kinds of Oscars. I believe it won 2. It was up for Best Picture. Directed by Darius Marder, who is the writer of A Place Beyond the Pines, the Ryan Gosling film. And who else was in that? Brad Cooper?
Brad Cooper?
Yeah.
Sounds like you overcame the handicap of being called Darius, which is nice.
Well, it's also...
I guess that's why he's a writer and not a pro athlete.
It's starring Riz Ahmed and Olivia Cook.
I like Olivia Cook.
Yeah, I like Riz Ahmed too. He's really good. But it's a really fascinating film. It's about a heavy metal drummer that loses his hearing almost instantly, just from years of being in heavy metal clubs and things like that. And he just walks out of a club one night and it just turns off, like his hearing just turns off. And so then he's got this whole new reality of moving forward, only knowing music. That's the only thing he knows in life, to only hearing silence. And he goes to like a retreat that's for newly deaf people, trying to adapt to his new way of life. And then he discovers there is a treatment that's possible. It's very expensive and very sort of intrusive. So he dabbles with that. I really want you to watch this movie, so I'm not going to tell you what is involved with all that, but it's got a fantastic ebb and flow with this story. It doesn't go where you think it would go, and just a really good human character study.
I think the only downside to this film is that it could have been over in 5 minutes had they just watched that end scene of Mr. Holland's Opus. Beautiful, 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 beautiful boy. Cool. Yeah, that's right. You've ruined this Oscar-nominated film.
Have you seen that video on... we'll get ourselves cancelled now. Have you seen that YouTube clip? It's from a sketch show where the guy's looking out the window and his dad's like, "What are you looking at? Why are you looking so worried?" "I'm getting deference." It's like, "Are you getting deference?" And you look out the window, it's the guy going,
"You mean deference?
Kill you." I didn't write it.
Yeah.
I just laughed at it. I think it's an Aussie show too.
Yeah.
Probably like Ronnie Johns or something like that.
Yeah.
Far out. So Sound of Metal, just a quick recommendation. Highly recommended. I've seen it twice now. It's good on both watches. So there you go.
Funnily enough, I also I watched a movie that I'd seen before.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't intend to. As you know, my rule is usually to try and find a film from the year that we're talking about, 2020. There's a bunch of films that I hadn't seen. And I came across one that I hadn't even heard of called The Match with Amanda Sante. It's a World War II movie set in occupied France where as a gift for Adolf Hitler, they decide to put on this soccer match between the German team, national team, and the best players in the POW camps in Germany, in Europe. And as I was reading that, I was like, this sounds like they've remade Escape to Victory.
Yeah. Kind of have.
And then I just went, you know what? Fuck it. And I just watched Escape to Victory again. Because it is one of my all-time favorite films. I fucking love it.
When you said that they got Hitler a present, I thought it was going to be like a Swedish penis pump. If you've been reading the press lately, you'll know what I'm talking about.
He's probably bought Austin Powers' book.
Micro penis, people. Micro penis.
Micro penis. Did Hitler have a micro penis?
Well, apparently a lot of research has gone into this, and I'm thinking, why are we spending money on this research? Why do we need to know? It's like you take everyone that's evil in the world, and we've come to a point now that like we need to just reinforce how evil they are.
Yeah.
But that's stigmatizing people that actually have micro penises.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that, is there?
No. No, it doesn't affect my day-to-day life.
That's right. When people say, go fuck yourself, well, I do.
I would if I could, you bastard.
Oh, but such an innie I do.
Yeah. I don't have to, as long as these two fingers are okay, I'm okay.
That's right. You've seen a soy bottle squirt?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Like little packets.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Anyway, Escape to Victory. from 1981, directed by the great John Huston, stars Michael Caine, Sylvester Stallone, Max von Sydow, and Pele, along with a host of actual football stars at the time, European soccer players.
Quite possibly the second time you've recommended it too.
I think I have too, yeah.
Keep going, though.
I didn't realise that Gary Waldhorn from Vicar of Dibley shows up as a German trainer, Muller. And I was like, oh my God, it's for me, is the guy from Brushes. But he's also the more well known for being the stuck-up kind of was he the richest man in the village in Vicar of Dibley?
Yeah, the pompous one.
The pompous one, yeah. He's still bald in this, so that happened a long time ago for that poor bastard. But basically, it is Max von Sydow turns up to the camp one day on a prisoner is shot trying to escape. A bunch of visitors come the next day, representatives from the Red Cross and the investigative unit in the German army to kind of investigate that everything was handled by the book and nothing illegal happened. And one of them is Max von Sydow, and he notices that Michael Caine and all the lads are playing soccer, and he's like, "Oh, you guys play soccer?" And then he recognises Michael Caine from being a West Ham player before the war, and he's like, "Oh, would you be interested in playing a game just against the Germans in the base?" Mm-hmm. And Michael Caine's like, "Well, look, if you can get us decent food and proper boots, then sure." Mm-hmm. And of course, then it escalates, and suddenly, the propaganda machine kind of takes over, and it's like let's instead of this, let's do this in Paris. Mm-hmm. Let's make it
exhibition.
It becomes this, showing German superiority by, and they, and then of course to combat that, with the help of the French resistance, they plan to halfway through the match have all the prisoners escape. Yep. But I won't spoil what the cliffhanger is, but it's just pure Sunday afternoon, boys' own adventure, World War II entertainment.
Fantastic movie. You've made me want to watch it again, that's for sure. But that's a good recommendation.
And Sylvester Stallone, funnily enough, is the sore thumb. He's the only American kind of in the camp. Yeah. And he repeatedly gets in trouble because he keeps dive tackling people. And he's like, "This is how you play football in America." And they're like, "Well, it's not fucking America. This is soccer."
So was the match a remake, or was it based on it?
You know what? I didn't read into it any more than that.
You gave up?
Yeah, I just completely... I do want to watch the match because it is Amanda Sante, I think, is playing the Max von Sydow character.
It's like when you watch Mean Machine and then realise that that's a bloody remake too. Was that one... The
Longest Yard.
Longest Yard, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, they tricked me.
And then, when that happens to you with Mean Machine, do you watch Adam Sandler's Longest Yard or do you watch Burt Reynolds' Longest Yard?
Oh,
I mean, they're both
That's
excellent.
Right. Probably the original.
Yeah. They're both excellent, though.
For sure. Cool.
But there you go.
Bum, bum, bum. That's the end of the show. Don't forget to go to goodmoviemonday.com. Hit up all the social media pages there. Give us a like, a subscribe, drop a comment. Hit the support tab. Ching, 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 ching. That'll be great. What else?
And with enthusiasm.
Enthusiasm. Merch. Took me almost as long as your journey, Dave.
to figure out what I was talking about.
Alrighty, you can sign us off because you're hosting.
Goodbye.
See ya.